Good day, we are from Group 5. In this module, we talk about population dynamics. We identify demographic processes that affect population, differentiated factors limiting population growth, and interpreted graphs and tables on population dynamics. Today, we will delve in deeper in what we have learned as we answer more questions and lastly, present a mind map that will synthesize everything that we have learned. For question number 1, how do demographic factors affect population size? Demographic factors are things that contribute to changes in a population. In a generalized demography, some of these factors include birth and death rates, immigration and emigration, as well as age and sex. The aforementioned factors may affect population by either increasing or decreasing it. For instance, birth or natality rate and immigration may increase the population size, while death or mortality rate and emigration may decrease it. To be more specific, when natality and or immigration rates are higher than mortality and or emigration rates, the population size increases. Meanwhile, when mortality and or emigration rates are higher than natality and or immigration rates, the population size decreases. Furthermore, while age and sex do not directly contribute to the size of a population, they may be determinants of a population's trend. The statistics of these characteristics in a population in its current state may indicate whether the population will grow or decline over time. Question number 2. Are the effects of these factors mutually exclusive? If the population is taken as a whole, it is not possible to have an increasing and decreasing population simultaneously. Hence, the effects are considered mutually exclusive. However, taking into consideration demographic factors such as age, increasing and decreasing population may not be mutually exclusive. For instance, in less economically developed countries where access to healthcare and or other resources are limited, the population is rapidly growing. The younger population is growing while the older population is greatly declining. On the other hand, some developed countries like Japan have shrinking populations, indicating that the older population is increasing while the younger population is declining. Question number 3. How is population growth depicted? Population growth is characterized by the increase in the number of inhabitants in a particular area. This growth relies on the biotic potential of individuals in a population. Bearing that in mind, it is also important to note that this biotic potential, or the maximum reproductive rate of the organism, varies depending on environmental factors or sex ratio and age distribution in a certain population. Thus, there are two ways in which this growth can be depicted: by exponential growth and logistic growth. Exponential growth, or popularly known as J-curve, exhibits the concept of a growing population where per capita growth rate does not change even if the population gets very large. This type of growth occurs when there are plenty of resources available in the environment. On the other hand, logistic growth, or also known as S-curve, occurs when the increase in the size of the population is influenced by limited resources in the environment. With that being said, in this growth pattern, the per capita growth rate gets smaller as the population approaches its maximum size. Question number 4. What are the applications of knowing the limits to population growth? Population growth limits have two types: density-dependent and density-independent. Density-dependent factors are affected by the number of individuals in a certain area. Examples are competition and disease. On the other hand, density-independent are factors found in the environment that limit population growth, such as natural disasters and unusual weather. When one has a full understanding of these limiting factors, it would be helpful in gathering data for managing, monitoring, or eradicating certain factors that disrupt the population. It also helps in maintaining the carrying capacity of the ecosystem. In addition, it could also be used as a reference record for certain events and factors that affect the population growth in a certain area and may be used in the future for further studies and research. Question number 5. Describe a density-independent factor and explain why its effect on population growth is independent of population density. Density-independent factors affect population size regardless of the density of a certain population. This involves abiotic factors or environmental stresses, which include natural disasters, weather fluctuations, pollutants, nutrient limitations, and catastrophes like forest fires and hurricanes. The effects of the factors mentioned are independent of the density of the population, since they can occur and cause damage whether the population is large or small. Density-independent factors cause abrupt shifts in highly populated areas, while it may cause a total wipeout in smaller populations. In this specific case of volcanic eruption, it will destroy nearby structures and kill organisms around its vicinity, regardless of their population sizes. This being said, it does not occur to modify population sizes when it increases beyond the carrying capacity. This further states that an organism's death or the decrease in the population size in occurrence of a density-independent factor does not depend on a population's density. Question number 6. How do density-dependent factors limit population growth? Density-dependent factors such as predation and food competition are usually known for their negative feedback mechanism. This involves an increase in population, hence resulting in a competition within the population, leading to decreased growth rate that may be due to starvation or failure to produce offspring. Another example of a density-dependent factor is predation, wherein higher population of species tend to attract more predators, eventually leading to decrease in the population of the prey and possible increase in the number of predators. If it were put in a graph, it would create a logistic growth with an S-shaped curve. This is due to a continuous increase in population as it consumes its available resources. Once density-dependent factors get involved, such as in the case of parasite infection in highly populated areas, it will cause slow growth and an eventual plateau in the population growth of this species.